Hey, what's up guys? It's Traizel. In today's video, we're going to be showing you how to make an RNG loot system for your Minecraft server. This loot system could be used for things like kit PvP, maybe like a RPG server like I'm doing. Anything else that could be used for like a random generating system to put loot in different chests randomly. So here I am in the commands area, and as you can see, there is a loot table over here. I have a bunch of random chests. Each have different loot in it. Some of them have like random money you can get, others have some items, others have some like armor and weapons, and each of them, when a chest in the zone, which is what I do for my RPG, when it refills, it'll pick one of these chests at random to get filled in the chest. Now I'm going to show you in just a second how that works. And over here you can see these little blocks here. This is how you refill it. Now if you have a big enough area, you're going to want to be using ticking areas, which I can show you as well. So each of these spots are one different ticking area, and I'll explain that in a bit why you use ticking areas. So let's see here. When you do that, you can see it goes through the different ticking areas. So it's almost done here. As it gets close to the end, you'll see that it's gonna finish up, and it's gonna say right there in the top left corner, the loot chests in Ironland have been restocked. And that will notify everyone that all the chests have been refilled. You know, people can come and fight for their loot, get all the chests. So for example, here I am in Ironland, and there is a chest right here which has been refilled, and it's gonna have a random piece of loot in it, and next time it refills it'll be something completely different. And over here there's gonna be another chest. It's gonna have something random. Any one of those chests. There's two up here, it's gonna be something completely different. And with this one over here, every single chest will be random. So now I'm gonna hop in another world, make two examples, one a very basic one, and then one more that's a little bit more complicated with ticking areas, to kind of show that off and show how you'd use ticking areas in it if you're gonna make something on a bigger scale like this, so that it actually works. Now here I am on my, I guess you can say, test world. Don't mind the stuff in the corner. So let's just go over here and I'll make just a very simple refilling system. So the first thing you want to do is obviously find places to put your chests. And let's just maybe put a chest here, maybe a chest here, a chest here, put like 5 chests around here. So there, we got our little area where we want to put chests. Next thing we want to do is get all the coordinates. You're just gonna sit on top of it, stand on top of it, get all the coordinates for each of the chests, write them down on like a note, piece of paper on your computer somewhere. Just get them all down. Okay, so I got all the chests, all the coordinates for the chests. Now once you do that, the next thing you want to do is obviously create your little loot table, however big you want to do it. Obviously the more chests you add, the more lag there's going to be. You want to make the loot table too big, because then, you know, in your commands area, whatever you have, you know, there's going to be more entities inside your loot area or your commands area, which will then produce more lag on your server. So you want to kind of figure out what's best for your server and what is best to reduce the amount of lag that you want on the server. I'm going to give myself a command block, and the first thing you want to do is put a command block here, and you're also going to want to, I guess, get a spot for a central location for this chest. And this chest is going to be the place where the chest always goes. Say you have all the different like chests that have different loot, they're all going to clone to this single chest. So you want to find the chest that has just, and it could be anywhere. I usually just put it right next to the all the loot table, and I get this coordinate 174, 68, negative 21. And then these chests, or these commands, all it's going to say is clone the block in front of it, which I'm going to figure that out in a second. I'm just going to put squigglies for now. And then this coordinate. So it's going to be 174, 68, negative 21. Now, what you want to do is you want to figure out which direction this is. What I usually do is I kind of stand above it, then I kind of move to the side of where I want it to be, because the chest is going to be right, or not the chest. The where the redstone block is going to be placed, which I'll show you in a second here, is going to be right in front of it. So you want to kind of just see which direction it is. And you can see here where the coordinates are. It goes 170 on the X to 169 on the X, which means it's going -1 in the X direction. What you want to do in here is in the X value, because it goes X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. You want to put -1 on the X values, so that it's telling the command to place it -1 in the X direction compared to the command block, which is, you know, right here, like I was doing just now. Basically, it's cloning this command block. I'm doing that completely wrong. I am sorry. You actually want to clone the block above, like I was saying way earlier. There's going to be a chest above this, and that's going to have all the loot in it. And you want to clone this chest with this chest. So you want to replace whatever's in here with this chest. So once you do that, either you have to replace it every time, or what you can do is if you have a keyboard, you can plug it up to your Xbox, or if you're on a PC, you can press Control, pick block, if you know how to do that. If you don't know how to do that, you can go to settings, go to your keyboard and mouse, and there should be a button for pick block right here. And if it's not anything, usually what I do is button 3, which should be the button in the middle of your mouse, like the little scroll button, just press it down, or you could do any button, and that'll pick block. So you can do Control, pick block, and that'll just get this little thing here with the data. And then what you do is you press it down, it'll have the stuff inside of it. So I can just replace this with all of this. And then the second one will be right in front of it, 2 blocks in front of it, like this, and it's going to be set block. And this one's going to be the one I was saying earlier. You're trying to set this block to air. So it's actually going to be +1 in the X direction. You can see it goes from 168 to 169. So you're setting the X block, or not the X block, the block in one X direction to air. And then you're going to copy that, place them all like that. And then say I wanted to make a little bit more, like let's just make 2 rows. I'm going to make sure the first one is always like that, and the second one is going to be the set block to air. And then you want to place all your chests on top of the one that's cloning, like that. All the one that has the clone command, place a chest on top of it, and these chests are going to be the random chests with all the loot, all the different loot you want. Then what you do is you want to place any block really. The reason I do this is because when the redstone block places, it can cause, depending on what you use, you can use either armor stands or minecarts. I use minecarts because if I use, on my world, I use Education Edition, and there's been a couple times where it glitches out the armor stands, and the armor stands tend to move by themselves. It's kind of weird. Also, if you use armor stands and the redstone block is placed, it'll cause them to move a lot because, you know, armor stands are redstone activated. They'll like move out of their spot. So that's why you don't want to put these blocks here so that they don't move. So now that you've done all this, I'm going to use minecarts because I am using Education Edition on this world. If you're using armor stands, you just do the same thing, just place an armor stand here and then just change the command to minecart or armor stand depending on what you're using. So you want to place, if you're using minecarts, you can just place a rail and then place the minecart, and the rail will get deleted, but that doesn't matter. If you're using armor stands, like I said, just place an armor stand. You don't need a minecart, or you don't need a rail for the armor stand. Now you got all that. Your next thing you want to do is place whatever you want in the chest. So now we got our random loot in the chests. We got everything set up. We got the loot table set up here. Now we just need to make the machine that's gonna refill this over there. Now with your coordinates that you wrote down for all the chests over there, you're gonna make 2 commands per chest. Now given that this is in a commands area, and usually if you make it right, this would be out by spawn somewhere, and this is probably gonna be somewhere else. So you would wanna also come over here, get like the general area, maybe the coordinate 209, 71, -58, and then get the general like size of it. Or you could get like 2 corners. Say this is like 196, 71, or you just need to get the X and the Z technically, or ticking areas. Ticking areas will go from the bottom of the world to the top. So you just need to get the X and the Z. 196 and -46 will be one corner, and let's say 223 and -69 will be another corner. Okay, so I got all the coordinates written down, all the chests, the 2 corners of where you want the ticking area to be. So now what you do is you want to have like a block below, place your first command block, because you want to destroy that block. That's where the redstone block is going to be placed to activate everything. The first block is going to create the ticking area. So you're going to go ticking area, add, then put the first coordinate down, the first corner that you wrote down, so 196, and you have to have the Y, but just put any coordinates. You could just put a squiggly, or you could put any other number. It really doesn't matter. Any number between like 0 and 256, or just put a squiggly like I do. -41. Then the second coordinate, which for me is 223, and -69, and then the name, which I will call maybe loot 1. So it's the first area for loot. And then that's it for the first one. You want to add a second one. This will be for the first chest. The first command is going to first pick one of these chests at random. So you're going to execute at a random minecart. This is where I say if you're using armor stands, this is where you'd say armor stand, not minecart. But because I'm using minecarts, you want to use minecart. So at R, type equals minecart, and then you also want to get like kind of like a range of this. Since I'm so close to this, it doesn't really matter, but in the case you get a little bit more complicated, this is kind of crucial. Kind of want to get right in the middle of this and put a really small range. Maybe like even use D commands if you know how to do that. This is very close. I'll just put a range, say like 15 or something like that. Range equals 15. So now it's executing for a random minecart. One of these minecarts, it's gonna pick one of them at random. And it's just gonna set block to redstone. A redstone block. It's pretty simple. You want to put it to chain, unconditional, always active. And also keep this in mind, you want to put it on a delay of 5. The reason we do that is because after this happens, this will happen a little bit later. And it's a lot more important when we get to the higher ones, because if it all happens at once, some bad things will happen, and then they might even be the same. You want it to happen a little bit slower, so that this one will clone over there, then this one will clone. It'll happen one at a time. Also, what are you doing? Okay, so after it executes for random minecart, so what these commands are going to do is that redstone block is going to activate these two commands. The first one's going to set it to air so that the redstone block goes away. The second one's just going to clone that chest over here. Then the second command, let's get one of these blocks, is going to just clone this chest to that chest over there. And you got to do this 5 times because there's 5 chests. If you have more chests, you got to do it that many times. This chest, which the coordinate, I put it right here, which is 174, 68, negative 21, 174, 68, negative 21. And you got to do that twice because it's a clone command. And then the last coordinate is going to be the coordinate of the first chest, which I have 218, 68, negative 58. Now at this point, and also keep in mind that you want to have this on a delay of 5. All of them should be on a delay of 5, except for the first one. The first one does not. And I believe the last one doesn't need to be either, because that one's just removing the ticking area. So I can just copy these. This one's always going to be the same. It's always going to go like this one. Then the second one's going to be this one with the first chest. Then it's going to be this one again, same as this one. The second one's going to be the same, but with the coordinate for the second chest. And it's just going to be repeating for each chest that you have out in your random loot area. This will be the third chest. So 67, 64. We just do it again. This will be the third chest. Oops, fourth chest. And the last chest. And now just verify that they're all on a ticking area of 5 or ticking delay of 5. And the last command is just going to remove the ticking area. Chain, always active. And I guess you could just put this on a delay just to be safe, I guess. It doesn't really, I don't know if it matters or not. It's just because it'd be happening at the same time as this is happening. I guess it probably doesn't matter, but you never know. Ticking area, remove, and then the name, which I think I put as loot 1. So we'll just remove that ticking area. Now it's all done. All you could do is you could put like a timer. So every so often it would just set a redstone block here. You could put like a repeating redstone block, always active with like a delay of like 9,000 or something like that. Every 9,000 ticks you could set a block here to redstone, and then it would go up. Also, and I completely forgot about this. So what you want to do, get out of here, cow. The first command you want to do, sorry, is you want to obviously set the block below to air. So the one it does get set to a redstone block, it goes away. Here you go. So now, when you set a redstone block, it'll be set to air, and then it can start all of its stuff. Now what it should do, when I do this, is just fit all of these chests. The only downside to this is they'll be all facing the same direction as this. So if you want a place where like the chests are facing different directions like I have it here, unfortunately this will not do that. They'll all be facing the same direction. I hope that's not too big of a deal, but if it is, I guess you might be able to figure something out. Yeah, let's test out if this works. Let's do that. It's doing all this. Let's see, the last one worked. There you go. All the blocks were cloned. And here, even if you go like this, you can probably see some of them. There you go. You can see like it's, there you go. You can see some of them are like being set to redstone blocks, and then they're like being set to air again. If you come over here, you can see they're all actually being facing the same direction now, and they have random stuff. There you go. Now if I do it again, say like this one has a shield. If I do it again, I mean there's a small chance it'll be the shield again, but what are the chances? 1 in 10, yeah. diamond chest plate now. So now it's all different. That one got a water bucket. Yeah, it's all different. It's random. Now, if you wanted to make multiple of these, like if you had a big area that was bigger than one ticking area, what you do is you would, I guess, create a ticking area that was as big as you could possibly make it. Get the two corners. Do the same thing I did here. Then make a different area, filling as much space as you can with all the chests inside of it, and until it fills everything, all the chests that you have. And then you just put them in groups. So like say this ticking area has these chests in it, you'd create the ticking area for that, put all the chests that are inside of that ticking area in this one, and then for the second ticking area that you got all the chests inside that ticking area, you do a second one and name that ticking area something different and put the coordinates for that ticking area there. Hope that makes sense, but if it makes sense, you know, I'm really bad at explaining things. So yeah, that's the gist of how to make an RNG based system, random loot generation for your either kit PvP or like a RPG system that you want to have just random loot on your world. Just anything. You could use this for a lot of things. I don't even know what else you'd use it for, but it really could be used for a lot of different things. Some mini game you could use it for. Just use your imagination. There's a lot of things you could use this for. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you are new around here, don't forget to subscribe, turn on bell notifications. I'm planning on doing a lot more tutorials. If you have any suggestions for things I should do in the future, please let me know in the comments. I do enjoy people giving me suggestions on things to do, as well as some things to improve on. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, peace out everybody.